Well, look, thanks for coming, everyone. Such a good turnout. I'm delighted to announce that Celtic and Magners have agreed on a 3-year shirt sponsorship deal. It's a multi-million-pound deal. I can introduce you to Tom McCusker, to my right, who's the Managing Director of Magners. I think Magners is truly a global brand. It's, I think, in over 40 countries at the moment, and they've got very, very exciting growth plans. It really underlines the power of Celtic that we are going to play such an important part in these growth plans. Underlines our brand values, and the fact that commercially we are extremely powerful. We thank Tom for it. It is a partnership that I'm sure will be very fruitful for both club and company, and we look forward to the next 3 years. On that, can I pass over to Tom, who will say a few words, and then questions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, I just want to say that I'm absolutely delighted to be here today on behalf of Magners to announce this sponsorship with Celtic. As Peter has said, like Celtic, Magners has a long and proud heritage in these islands, and we have a very long established pedigree in sports sponsorship, including shirt sponsorship of a number of football clubs, most recently Preston North End. And of course, we were the title sponsor for the Rugby's Magners League from the 2006 to 2007 season for 3 years. And we have very, very shared and similar aspirations with Celtic. We've established Magners in the UK as the #1 bottle cider in on and off trade. And we expect to export Magners to well over 40 countries worldwide. We're already very, very strong in areas like North America, Australia and Asia, and that ties in very, very closely and fits very well with Celtic. So I'm very confident that together we can achieve a lot. We're very proud to be here today. I'm personally very proud to be here today. We wish Celtic every success for the remainder of the 2012-2013 season. And we're looking forward to being on the shirt at the start of next season in August and playing a key part in the club's history for the next 3 years. So thank you very much.
With the two different positions the clubs find themselves in now, does it suit you better now going on your own than perhaps it would have done previously?
I mean, I don't really want to talk about other clubs, to be frank. You know, we're on our own. We've got a fantastic sponsorship deal here. I think we are not defined by any other club. I mean, we are Celtic, and that is witnessed here today, and we never have been. So I think we've got our own, as I say, brand, our own standards, our own values, our own tradition, our own offering, and that has been manifest itself in what we're announcing today.
To what extent will this strengthen Neil's case this month, or is this more money that will perhaps get used further down the line, should any of it be used?
No, again, we've got an overall budget. We know where we are. Again, in any transfer window, we keep saying we like to come out stronger than we went in. We can confirm that Rami Gershon has joined us, and that's one position that we've strengthened in, and let's see what happens in the next 3 weeks.
Peter, what did you make of the league reconstruction yesterday? What came from that?
Well, I think it's we as a club support it. Again, it's not perfect, but it's the best available, and I don't think you throw out the best in pursuit of the perfect. The big key here was that we had unanimity between the SPL clubs a few weeks ago, which was a major achievement and breakthrough in itself. I think it will be beneficial to the game. It will make sure there are more meaningful games, hopefully get more people through the turnstile and then more sponsorship. And I think going back to this one, I mean, this is, I think, a great testament to Scottish football, that we can attract such a prestigious sponsor, not only to the club but to the game. So there is great optimism that we should all take from that.
I think yesterday was labelled as a new dawn and a new era for Scottish football. Is that something you go along with, or is that a bit premature?
Well, I think we've got a meeting the 28th. I'm a wee bit short in the detail went on yesterday. I wasn't at the meeting. But in principle, I guess we're all in agreement. There will be a lot of detail to go through in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But I have great expectations that we'll get there.
Peter, you've made kind of no secret that the fact that you have been kind of looking into potentially trying to play elsewhere, and European leagues have obviously been mentioned as well. And obviously you're still playing in Scotland, so is it still a priority for Celtic to be very much part of these league reconstruction developments and moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we as we've said, we support the SPL. We're committed to the SPL. Hopefully we've seen to have played a material significant part in the reconstruction. We played a material and significant part on the contract renegotiation with the TV companies over the summer. So we're committed to the SPL. I think this would be a very positive step if it goes through, but clearly the world is always changing. And, you know, I spoke about that at our AGM in terms of the Regional League initiative, this mini or minor breakthrough at UEFA that's there. So again, I think we've all got a responsibility, not just Celtic, but every club and the nation, to look at what is the longer term benefits for Scottish football.
Rangers called the league reconstruction abomination. What are your thoughts on that, given you've just said that everyone has a responsibility to try and support them?
I don't want to really talk about any other club, as I said, or any other club's statements. There's a lot going on in Scottish football. We've just announced this fantastic deal. We're in the last 16 of the Champions League. We're going for 3 trophies. And these little things probably don't matter, you know.
Peter, you touched on the European League there just for a second. Has there been much movement since the AGM when you last spoke to us?
The only movement was the report that Russia and Ukraine were actually talking. So, you know, I think to clarify, there is I think an openness at UEFA now who do understand that there is such a gap between the top nations and the smaller nations in media values that something has to be done. And in fact, if you can flip it the other way, if, for example, Russia and Ukraine do unite, then that makes a bigger, stronger market. And if Scotland just stands by, then you actually could be a threat rather than an opportunity, where other nations become stronger and we're left behind.
Just looking. What is just picking up on that? What is the response of UEFA to them trying to do that? What they said?
Well, well, where it's very, very early on, it's very preliminary, but they've opened up their mind to the idea that there may be a merger of nations into bigger leagues. What they've asked for is, if any nations have a proposition, then to come forward. And the report was that Russia and Ukraine were in advanced discussions. I presume if they have a proposition, they would then take that to UEFA and seek approval. Not as yet, no.
Does that give you quite an element of hope that UEFA are now even willing to listen? Because before, you know, when we all kind of made phone calls to UEFA about this, they were kind of very quick to say we're just not having it.
Yeah. I think that's the minor breakthrough, and it's very early. But that has been, in my estimation, that's been the change. That there is a minor breakthrough that they may well be open to look at, you know, these merging of leagues to have become regional leagues.
Just going back to the reconstruction talks, do you expect this to be in place at the start of next season, or is it longer term, do you think?
I think that's the plan. Again, I'm short in the detail from yesterday, but the plan would be, if it is achievable, then it could go in from next, if everything's agreed, it could go in from next year. But again, I don't think you want to rush anything if you're going to be have a negative effect by getting it in sooner than if it's not ready.
Sorry. Just looking at the playing side of things, you've got contracts on the table for Hooper and Wanyama, yet they remain unsigned. Does there come a time where you think, or you say to these players, you either sign these or you reject them? How long do you keep that going for?
No, but again, we're continuing to talk until there is an offer for players that they want to take and go, or they sign a contract. Then we can keep the negotiations going. So there's no. I think it would be wrong to put a time limit on it. You know, we're in a good place as a club at the moment. Thankfully we've got a lot of talent. We've got players that will be sought after. But I think we're managing that, and we've got a good track record of managing that in the past.
I suppose though with Hooper in particular, it must be difficult given the fact he's only until the end of next season, and obviously our club's looking at him just now. Are you weighing up whether you need to cash in on him or not?
Not at the moment. We've had no offer, no interest. We're still in discussion with these people about a new contract. So we haven't, you know, been forced into that decision, if you like. There has been no real interest in him.
No offers for him, but what about the likes of Beram Kyle and other squad men?
No, there were no offers for any of our players.
Is it frustrating that you haven't heard back from Hooper maybe a bit more quickly?
Not really. No. These things take time, you know, and we're comfortable with the process. He's comfortable with the process. we'll just wait and see. And you know, if there's something to say, then we'll say it. But at the moment, there's nothing to say.
Are you at all worried that because he hasn't come back quickly, that maybe he is thinking that his future doesn't, or his immediate future doesn't lie here?
In any negotiation, you know, it takes time. I don't think there's genuinely at the moment. There's nothing that makes me think that that would give me any cause for concern. You know, if there's an offer on the table for him, his people are considering it. We'll continue to talk, and at the point that he wants to leave, or if he wants to leave, then I'm sure he'd tell us first. But he's not in that place at the moment.
I know Neil had said that he doesn't need a marquee signing. He said that for the last couple of windows. But should he want to bring someone in late on, last minute, like we've seen before, is there money there available for him? Should he need that? Again,
but as I say, if the right opportunities come along, we've got a decent track record of converting, and that's what we would look to do. Hopefully come out stronger than where we are at the moment. If they don't appear, then they don't appear. But we'll continue down the strategy that we've adopted in terms of identifying talent, young talent, that will come here that we can develop and put on the pitch and perform to the highest level.
Helder Barbosa was a player you looked at in the last window. Is he someone you will revisit?
No, he hasn't been mentioned other than the press.
In terms of moving forward, would you expect to do any more business this month, or is it more if it's the right thing?
If it's the right thing, yeah, if it's the right thing.
Is there a less kind of, I guess, emphasis on you having to do business this month because you're in quite a strong position or not?
But we always like to strengthen. You know, if the right opportunity comes along, we'd like to do that. So. And again, we've scouted a lot of players. January's not the best time to be doing it, but if we believe there's somebody out there with the right deal to strengthen the squad, then we'd certainly, and it's doable, we would do it.
Briefly on the manager's stock is particularly high at the moment, and understandably so. A lot of jobs have come up recently. Have you had any conversations with him or any calls from clubs trying to prize him away? It would be
nothing at all. He's committed. He's focused on, you know, the next 4 or 5 months where he's got a treble to go for in the Champions League quarter-final. So that's his full 100% focus.
Are things as relaxed for you at this stage as they have been in many years? Things are all kind of quite content on all fronts?
You're never relaxed. I mean, we're in a decent place as a club. I think there's a lot going for us at the moment. But you're only as good as your last game, as they say. We're never complacent, and we just keep trying to get better. Just keep pushing the club on as far as we possibly go.
Peter, I know you said you've had no interest from the likes of Gary Hooper in this month anyway. The manager Neil Lennon did say a couple of weeks ago that he would be very surprised if Hooper actually wanted to leave in January, given what's around the corner with Champions League football, the chance obviously to go for a domestic clean sweep. Would you be equally surprised if he chose to leave in January?
Well, there's a lot for the kid here. I mean, absolutely, it's a huge attraction playing for Celtic, and you've got the last 16 of the Champions League, so he'd certainly have a lot to consider.
Peter, just going back to the deal that you guys have struck with Magners, I know a few of the shareholders back at the AGM weren't happy that you shared the same tenants logo with Rangers. Did that maybe play into your thinking about with this deal?
Well, we actually had the deal signed before the AGM, actually, so it didn't. Not that particular meeting.
And just a word on the Champions League as well. How excited are you by Juventus in the last 16?
It's just fantastic. I mean, it's where we want to be as a club. I thought it was a brilliant draw. It's a bit of glamour, and who's to say that we can't get through? Formidable task, absolutely formidable. One of Europe's greatest clubs. But again, the prospect of having a chance and having another night at Celtic Park, that there's no other place like it.
I suppose there's no pressure now on the side. There probably wasn't even pressure to get through the group stage, but there's not really a lot of pressure here because they're not even expected to be here.
Yeah, I think you set your own standards, and that is always to get as far as you possibly go and to improve and to continue to improve the team, and continue to improve the club. So you set your own pressures and your own demands. So that it's still there.
I know you won't want to touch on too much of this, but this is the first big deal you've struck since the changes in the setup here, and we can't ignore them. How has it altered the way in which you do business? Has it helped or hindered, or how has it affected you at all, if it has? In terms of obviously yourself and Rangers have often worked as partners in deals, either be it by design or be it by that's where you ended up. This is the first one you've struck since. Yeah. How has it changed the setup for you? Has it made it easier, any more difficult? Has it made it?
There's been really no change. We've just set about our own business, and we have pulled off what we think is a fantastic deal.
Do you think maybe now, given the situation between the two clubs, it's more relevant that you are now out on your own in terms of your own sponsorship?
Again, I wouldn't like to, you know, I don't like to talk about any other club's business, frankly, and I'd be upset when and if other clubs talk about ourselves. So I'd rather just focus on Celtic and the great new partnership with Magnus.
It's interesting you bring up that you would rather the clubs only talked about themselves. Rangers did talk about Celtic recently. I don't know if you saw it in a online blog. They were disappointed that you referred to the game in April as the last Old Firm derby, and they're querying whether you see them as a new club or not. Can you answer that?
Again, Jane, I don't want to get involved in any of that. It's, you know, we're talking about very positivity here, real positive direction that our club's going on, and that's all that matters.
Can I just ask you, just finally from me, 2 Australians have been linked with the club, Tom Rogic and Matthew Ryan. Any?
Tom Rogic's coming in for trial. He's going to join up in Marbella. That's the only.
Is that with a view to signing him for impresses, or is he?
Yeah,
right now or pre-contract?
Well, hopefully, if he impresses now, we'd have to go through the process of negotiation and understand his work permits situation as well. But he would be one that, if he does well, then we would be liking to take in just now.
And Matthew Ryan, sorry.
No, nothing in that one.